And we're going to go live with author Terry Folks, who's launching her new book, Another Spring, in 2 minutes. So we're going to go live in 2 minutes, but get everything set up. That's much better, Terry. Yeah. Do you want to do another little sound check?
Sure.
Oh,
How is
good.
my voice sounding now? Okay. Not
Sounds
too
good.
loud.
Can you turn it up a little bit or?
No, you did ask me that, and I let me see if there's anything.
Feed. Yeah, we're
This is as
live on
loud
Facebook
as I.
and we're streaming, and that's nice and loud. In 1 minute, we're going to go live, and we're going to be talking with author Terry Folks about the new book that she's written called Another Spring. It's just launched on the marketplace, and it's available on Amazon and Kindle. There's an ebook, but what I'm really curious to dive into today with Terry is why she wrote the book, why it's an important book to read, and it's going to be a fun little talk. It's going to be a fun interview. So tag some people in this. Feel free to make some comments. I know we've got the publisher here on the stream, and Tina, welcome. Clipston Publishing is the publisher of this book. And they've done a fabulous job putting everything together. So feel free, Tina, to make some comments. And thanks for being here. And thank you to Tina Clipston at Clipston Publishing. That's where books come to life. All right. What time have you got there, Terry, on your screen?
11, 11 a.m.
Excellent. Well, I'm feeling
Yep.
intuitively guided to start this special author conversation. It's a special moment with an incredible author and a beautiful book that's just launching. Terry Folks is an accomplished psychotherapist with an integrated practice that's focused on helping and empowering women. Welcome to our conversation, Terry, and congratulations on your new book.
Thank you so much, Barbara. Can I
You
start this conversation by lighting a candle in honor of my brother Chuck, who passed away this morning? And
Of
I
course,
want to
don't
dedicate the launch. Yeah, I want to dedicate the launch to him. So if you just give me a minute, I want to light a candle and uh,
okay. That
and
that's
honor him. Yeah.
all right. Let's honor your brother and welcome him into the space and just yeah. Did you light the
Oh,
candle
he's
for your
here
brother?
already. He's here. Yeah,
Okay, you
he's
totally
here with
caught me
my
off
mama.
guard, Terry. I've already had quite
Sorry,
a
that's.
morning, and you
Oh
know
no,
what?
he only passed a few hours ago. He just passed.
Yeah,
So
I
I didn't
wasn't
mean to throw you
expecting
off
that.
guard. All right. Yeah. No,
So
he's here with
Terry,
us.
we're
Yeah, it's all good.
okay, thank you. Well, I know I'm in good hands because you're a wonderful therapist, wonderful psychotherapist. So we're in good hands. And if you're in the audience, you have some questions about the book or anything, just put those questions in and put those comments in. Even if we don't get them on the live, we're going to be
Sure.
monitoring the feed. Terry, it's also a special day because it's spring equinox. And I was
Oh,
wondering, I don't know a lot about that, but I read something this morning that the light lands on the earth. And I thought that was very beautiful, and especially in light of what you
yeah.
just said about your brother. So tell us why spring equinox was meaningful and important to you, and then just lead us through why this is an important book and why people should read the book, buy the book.
Well, I think, given the state of the world, we need to find ways to feel empowered, like we can make a difference. And we live in the first world, so we're watching things happen. And sometimes you feel powerless, but you're not, because every time you evolve or do your personal work, you're actually affecting the collective. And we have the capacity to hold energy for parts of the world that really need our positive, light bringing energy. And that makes a real difference. And people feel helpless, but actually holding energy. In some religious traditions, they call it prayer. In other traditions, they call it holding energy. Um, Whatever language you use to describe um, your positive, energetic force and push toward the light in all parts of the world. Uh, and this book actually is all about empowerment. And it's about inviting you to own and develop and create your own spirituality, your own belief system based on your own values as a woman in this culture, not what you've been told to think, not that the roles that have been imposed on you, but I call it a theology. Theology is the feminine version of theology. You get to create that for yourself. There's lots of rules thrown at you as soon as your gender is identified at birth, and you're actually allowed to make up your own if they're loving and light giving and not constricting. You asked about why another spring and why spring equinox. So I do want to talk a little bit about that because the energies at spring equinox, everything in this book is, uh, and for women mainly, we are part of the earth. And so we feel the changes in the energies of the earth as she moves through her cycles. And spring is always so refreshing. It's enlivening. It's birth giving. And we feel that in our bodies, right? We can feel it as the sap is rising. We can feel that. And so the archetypal human years, which is what this book is based on, is exploring how the earth moves our bodies through the seasons of the year, right? You feel hopeful in the spring. You watch things ripen and grow in the summer. You watch things harvest in the fall and then decay. And then the pregnancy of winter or the dormancy of winter, it's not a death. It's a potent potentiality. And then another spring,
Beautiful.
right?
And I love that you held the book up because it's a beautiful cover. I invite you to hold it up again for us now. I love the cover, like, because it's very pretty and it has that
There's a line
spiral.
there's a
Yeah,
line
that's
across there. No, it's an
coffee.
old
You're
truth, right? Yeah.
at Amazon
But
coffee
this
won't.
spiral, really,
Mhm.
you're right. It does, Barbara. It does
Yeah,
reflect the whole book.
yeah. Do you
That's
see this as
that's
a
the map.
do you see this as a book that women can come back to again and again as they're doing that inner work that you referenced earlier?
Yeah, and that is what the spiral is all about. So the spiral in my work, if you look on my website, there's tools that you can kind of connect with around the work that I do. And the dominant sort of shape for women is the spiral. And it's because you can touch the surface of an issue, and then as you do your work, and you take a little break and maybe you come back to it when you feel more ready and you're going to go a little bit deeper on that piece. And then you leave it when you want to. And then you come back and you go a little deeper. Yeah, for sure. This is a book that you're going to keep going back to.
I
You'll
love it
go
because we
deeper
all,
and deeper.
yeah, deeper and deeper. So we all can't be with you, but we can actually, buy the book and be with you in that way and go deeper and deeper. Does inner work ever end? I mean, do we ever stop doing our inner work?
I don't think so. As long as you're alive and you're evolving and you want to explore and enjoy the riches of the depths of you, then why would you ever stop? It's so enlivening. It's so hopeful. It's growth. I mean, you'd have to resist growth. Our bodies, our earth, our planet, trees, everything tells us about growth. You we are designed to grow. There's a dandelion in the crack on the sidewalk in New York City. Like growth happens. It's the nature of being alive and being human in this amazing world. If you try to stop growing, I call it resistance. It takes a lot of energy to resist growth, and it can make you quite sick if you resist the growth that's part of your nature. Does that make sense to you?
It makes a lot of sense, and it makes it even more meaningful because the book is an invitation to step into your growth. Your practice is also the same. You've mentioned, Terry, that this book is for women, and you've set the intention to empower women, which I love. But, a little bit more would be helpful. What kind of woman might find your book empowering or helpful? Um, every woman, or like, are there areas where, you know
Well, actually, it's interesting you asked that. Yeah,
uh,
no, it's a good question because I just came out of another interview with Gwen, and we were talking about the brave men, the very brave men who might read this book as part of their intention to unpack their own privilege. So if men unpack their privilege and they start to see some of the assumptions that we've been in exile, women haven't been in exile for 3,500 years. And that's a hell of a long time to be in exile. So we've adapted our behavior. We've changed the way we do things. We're approval seeking, to get by, to get through, not to be shunned, to belong. Some women throw their sisters under the bus so they fit in. It's really heartbreaking. But there are some very beautiful, brave men who are willing and courageous enough to unpack their privilege, read a book like this, and stand for their sisters. So
wow.
it's not just for women. Yeah,
I love that. I love that that just came up. And in the show notes, we're going to put in the podcast that you did with Gwen, because that sounds very powerful. And hopefully, there's some
it was.
empowered men willing to unpack that listening today. Terry, yeah, that's a very compelling thought. I love it. Now, you do address some core themes that are important to women on the healing journey. So maybe just tell us what a couple of themes might be as a teaser. I mean, there's a lot in the book, but what are some core themes?
I think that if the chapter titles themselves, um, reverence and stillness and spirituality, that's laying the groundwork or the bedrock for growth because our spirituality, and it's not necessarily religion, uh, but it is based on some kind of trust or faith that there's something bigger than us going on. And that if we connect to that, that sort of divine place within ourselves, immanent and transcendent, the divine or the whatever's bigger than us. If we can connect those two, that's a powerful resource for healing. And so that's why the opening section, Winter, has all of those sort of let's build a spiritual practice together. And then balance, freedom, overly responsive to others. I'm going to come back to chapter 6 because it has had such an impact on people that I think I need to write another book that just focuses completely on being overly responsive to others. Some people call it codependence, but it's actually the problem with using the word codependence is it sounds like you're in a relationship with someone who's using a substance or that perhaps they have a behavior problem like gambling or sex or shopping. But really, being overly responsive to others is being other focused and not giving yourself permission to focus on yourself, which is what this book gives you permission to do. So I'll come back to that. Some other themes are feelings and emotional self regulation, addiction, abundance and gratitude, grief, change and loss, partnerships, trust and anxiety, and guidance and intuition. And those are all the themes that have surfaced in my clinical work with women over the decades. And that's why each chapter starts with a fictional letter from a woman who is expressing her her where she's feeling the most troubled in her life. Is that
Oh,
helpful?
that's super helpful. It's so powerful. Like I always feel so amazing when I'm in conversation with you because I do feel hopeful. I know this book
Barbara.
is going to actually empower a lot of people. I'm so excited about it. Now, I'm going to switch gears a little bit and ask you about your author process. Like, you've said that you had an intention to empower women, and that's wonderful. But like, how was writing this book? Did it write itself? Were you guided? Like, was it easy? Like, what was the process like for you?
Yeah.
I'm
I
curious.
have a number of sort of goddess guides. I have my mom. She passed in 2024 when I was uh, near the end of writing. What inspired me to write is my service to women has shown me that sometimes they just need to be shown the way. Like they just need to be shown a doorway. If you go through this door and you try these things, do your own experiment and see if you can access the incredible power that you have within yourself. And I thought, well, how can I like I'm telling people that they have to be on a wait list right now and I never have enough spaces for everybody. And I thought, well, I'm not a complainer. Like if I see something's wrong, I try to fix it somehow. And so I thought, well, if they had the book, maybe they could maybe do some work on their own. Uh, I mean, I always recommend that you have a good support system because some of the work it can be a bit destabilizing. So you want to make sure that you're safe. You want to make sure that, and I talk about that in my introduction, building a solid support system. I also have in the appendix how to choose a therapist, like how to if you can't work with me or you don't feel that connection, where can you? How do you set that up, and how do you look, and how do you give yourself permission to go? No, I don't think that this is a match. I'm going to move on to someone else. It's all really about giving yourself permission.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's amazing. I think that's an important chapter too on how guiding people or directing people on how to choose a therapist. Many people struggle with this, and I've spoken on this topic personally. One quality in a therapist that I love is having unconditional positive regard for another, and you
yeah.
have that.
That's Carl. Yeah, that's Carl
Yeah,
Rogers. Yeah,
ah,
that's the
I
under.
know. Oh, Carl Rogers. I'm going to write that down. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
I
he was
noticed.
the teacher, the master teacher of of a framework for client centered psychotherapy. He was our he was our leader in that field, and he was amazing. And so his work underpins everything I do because change only happens in relationship with the person who's supporting you. So you have to feel that they care about you. And I care about the people I'm serving, and they know it. There is no doubt.
So
they,
important.
they know.
Important. Yes, I can see that and I believe that. And so I think they're going to even make a connection with you outside your practice by ordering this book. So today's launch is a celebration. It's a congratulations, congratulations again to you. I'm very proud of you. Like it's an accomplishment to go through the journey of publishing a book. It's not like this. So before we close our conversation today,
Oh, but
what
Tina, we need to thank Tina for that
yeah,
because Tina
tell
has
me
been,
like
she,
your publisher was
she's been
Clifton
so,
Publishing and
yeah.
go
And
ahead.
Tina Clipston, I mean, what can't be said about her work ethic? Like, seriously. She is so compassionate and so hardworking and so supportive. She saw my vision a year ago in January. And yeah, she's tireless. She's been fabulous. You're
That's
very
excellent.
lucky to be colleagues, Barbara.
Yes, well, when you have to market, work with authors, publish a book, you have to have the foundation of someone you can rely on. So I agree. This is
And respect.
and respect, exactly. So I'm really glad to hear that your publishing journey had those qualities and those outcomes, and then you've got the book, and the book is beautiful. And today on spring equinox, the book is going out into the world to empower women, connect them back to your practice. Terry, before we close, what's next for you?
I'm thinking I'm going to expand on chapter 6. I've already started writing it. Uh, Let me just,
So over
yeah, chapter
responsiveness
6.
to others.
Overly responsible attitude. I think that's such an important chapter, and the feedback that I've been getting on that work has been, it just captures so much of women being in their bodies and trusting their intuition and trusting that bodily response. And therein is the wisdom. That's wisdom. And it's something that comes from within. And it's based on life experience, but it's also based on all the sensory data that's coming in. And you can trust that, and how to build that response to the world and to yourself, rather than always thinking that you're responsible to others and
That is very true.
neglecting yourself.
Please write a book on that, Terry.
I
Because
will.
that
I am
begs.
actually. I am. I have an outline. I have it ready. I'm working on
Excellent.
it.
I mean, we're in an epidemic of that, and that sounds wonderful to hear that you're going to write more books. I see 16 people have joined in our live. We're going to be uploading this live to Clipston Publishing's YouTube channel. We'll be putting all the links
Oh, good.
below so that you can order the book. But Terry, before we close, it was a delightful conversation, and thank you for writing the book. Thank you for sharing with us so openly, and dedicating the container of this conversation to your brother, sending him a lot of light on spring equinox. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you,
And
Barbara.
yeah, before we close and say goodbye to everyone, just hold up your book and tell us where we can buy the book.
Well, right now it's on Amazon, the Canadian CA or .com. Uh, we're hoping to have it in bookstores soon. I have a number of people locally who want to go. Locally, we have a bookstore named Laughing Oyster. It's down in Courtney, and we have another bookstore called Blue Heron in Comox, and a number of other bookstores. And I have people asking if they can buy the hardcover or even the soft cover in those bookstores. And I'm not. When I went into Blue Heron the other day, I said, he looked at on his distribution and he didn't see it. But it's a process, and we have to be really patient because all of these things take time. And Tina has been working tirelessly trying to get the book out to other distributors besides Amazon. But for now, they can buy it. They can have it tomorrow on Amazon. So
Okay, let's just stop right there. Go to Amazon, get this book for tomorrow. Thanks to Diane Steele for being here, Arlene Lasky, a fellow author, Penny Binden. Hi, gals. For every single person that's tuned in, thank you. Thank you, Terry, for being here. And a special thank you always to Clipston Publishing, Tina, where books come to life. Bye,
thank
Terry,
you,
and
Barbara.